guys, this is Comic Uno, and I'm finally doing my review for Veronica Mars The Movie. So I did get to watch it Friday with Media Madness, which I will link on this video, and probably in the description too if you can't get the adaptation. But just tell me in the comments if you can't. I will annotate it. That is where we come to the whole movie, and you guys could watch live with us. So this is pretty much from what I watched there. I watched the whole movie with Jay, Brant, and John. Two people, Jay and Brant, who've seen Veronica Mars before, and John that hasn't. So if you want to go check that out, that's about a 2-hour show. Go check that out. We watched the whole movie live, and that's what Media Madness is. We want to do that with Veronica Mars because we're all big fans of it. So this is a video just recapping about that movie, of course, and reviewing, telling my thoughts, which we do in the end of Media Madness also. I wanted to watch it a second time before I did this review, though I could fully concentrate on it, without talking during it. I didn't have enough time, and I don't think I will have enough time until like a week or two, so to really watch it. And, maybe that's better, have that gap for that second time to really digest the first viewing. With this movie, we get to see that Veronica Mars, 10 years later, since the show has passed, she's a big-time lawyer, she's with Piz, and her life is happy, in a weird way, but then she finds out her ex-boyfriend, and if you watch the show, her burning, loving desire for Logan, but Logan Eccles has been wanted for a crime. He's a suspect for killing this girl, and she's an actress, and I guess he's in that field, and he parties with everybody, but they all went to Neptune High, coincidentally, and they actually have been in the show. I think she just changed her identity when she became an actress. But yeah, everyone, even if they are just kind of cameos or just were in a couple episodes, they all were on the Veronica Mars show who were connected to this murder. So Veronica goes back to Neptune to, say hi to her friends, and of course, see that Logan's not the killer. And I won't spoil it for you, but we do find out who the killer was, and of course in a Veronica Mars fashion. So at first you're like, they're definitely the killer. You're like, no, they're not the killer, they're the killer. And all condensed into a movie instead of a season. So that's pretty much what happens, and in the end we get to see, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So yeah, there will be a spoiler portion in this review because there are some spoilers I do want to talk about, but I'm not going to, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil the movie for you. But overall, I thought it was a very solid movie. I felt pretty content about it. Could it have been better? Yeah, if it was a season, if it was a TV show, I think it could have been better to flesh out some of the stories. But as a movie, I was really contented with this movie, especially as a fan. I think this was definitely a love letter to the fans. Maybe a little bit harder to watch if you've never seen the show. There's a lot of connections to the show, and I don't think they really make you have that connection with the characters with this movie. I think you get that with the show, obviously, and then it continues with the movie. So if you've never seen it, I don't know if you'll fall in love with these characters as much as we do, and as much as we have with these characters, because we watched all 3 seasons, or even if you just watch some of the seasons, you do have this connection with Veronica, or Wallace, or Keith, so you have a connection with these characters already, and I feel like you kind of have to go into that movie having the connection to really fully enjoy it. But I don't think it's really confusing for new viewers, because like I said, John watched a movie with us. He'd never seen Veronica Mars, but he understood pretty much the whole premise of it. So I feel like you could go into the movie not seeing Veronica Mars. Again, you just probably won't get the same effect if you haven't seen the show. And one thing I loved about this movie was the chemistry between everybody. It felt like it didn't skip a beat. And a lot of these type of movies that they do 10 years later, 5 years later, and you see these actors interact with each other, there's, the chemistry's gone. There's something missing. The magic is really missing. And with this, the chemistry was there. There's no magic missing. It felt like it didn't skip a beat, because this crew and cast is so close, but that's what I felt. I really loved how it all meshed together so well, and I felt like I was watching the show all over again 10 years ago, which I actually watched after it aired, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, and I think the acting was great. The characters were great in this. So what was bad? Not a lot of things. I would say maybe the mystery. I wish it was fleshed out a little bit more. Maybe I'll get that more with the second viewing. But I wasn't totally interested in the mystery. I was just interested in where these characters were going and where they would end up. I wish they kind of fleshed out the mystery a little bit more for us to care. That was just my opinion. I think because usually they're done in a season, so you care about the mystery a little bit more. But through an hour-and-a-half movie, I just didn't care about it. And also the love interest thing, I thought it was a little bit too quick with Pez. Again, maybe with their second viewing, I'll feel like whatever happened, whoever she chooses is a little bit more dramatic, but I thought it was just very quick how Veronica breaks up with this person and goes for the other love interest. So that was a little bit of complaint. But for me, as someone that's not a total shipper in the show, like I like Logan, I like Piz, but I'm not really a shipper for either of them. I really just like the stories, the mysteries, and Veronica herself. So for this show, I'm not really a shipper. There's other shows I'm totally shipping, other characters. But for Veronica Mars, I just didn't really ship anybody. I love all the characters equally. So for me, I wasn't so dedicated for that story, but I think it went a little bit too quick, which I was a little disappointed with. Other than that, I really liked it. I thought it was a really solid movie. I love the look of it, the color palette, which is very different from the show. The show, I would say, is a little brighter. We had a lot of grays in the movie, so I really like the color palette of the movie. And I love the ending. I won't spoil it for you, but I felt that's exactly where Veronica belonged. And in Media Madness, we talk about this a little bit more, so if you want the exact thing, as I said, you can watch that. But yeah, I think we find out where Veronica belonged. They make reference to, actually, the Season 4 ending, where she was going to be an FBI agent, which I loved. So there's a lot of references, a lot of cameos with stars like James Franco, Dax, Kristen Bell's husband. So there's a variety of cameos here, so I love that. And again, going back to the ending, I like where Veronica ends up. And I thought it was a perfect ending for her. I'm definitely picking up the book to see where that continues, and I really liked it. So, also one thing I want to mention before I end this review, isn't it weird that Logan was a Marine or in the military? I thought that was kind of weird. We were talking about the Media Madness too. It seemed like he was wearing a costume, like he didn't really belong in the uniform, so I thought that didn't really connect for what was going on. So, I don't know. It felt a little weird to me that that was kind of a weird story plot throughout the movie that they mentioned me once or twice. Even in the end, they mention it, so I thought that was a little weird. But other than that, I'm going to give this a solid 4. This rating might go up when I watch it again, but for that first viewing, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I can't wait to watch it again, which I will watch it again. Please tell me in the comments below if you're a Veronica Mars fan. Did you like it? If you're not, did you still like it? Please tell me in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. And this is Comic Uno. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations. And don't forget to like my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.